Cycledrag universe, what is up? I've got some buried treasure for you. I am in my father's basement. We've got all types of old cows. We got some really cool drag racing memorabilia. We're just going to give you a little teeny taste. We're going to go more in depth in future videos. Look, I even got my father here, the fearless KZ pilot. The poor guy's been hunting all day. I drug him out for this video.
He did drag me.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. First thing I want you to see is my dad's drag bike. This thing's awesome. Old school Kawasaki KZ. Dad, what is your all-time best run on this motorcycle?
So far 894, but there's more there.
And I want to show you my bike as well. This one right here, 1977 Kawasaki KZ 1000. Do we have any old school Kawasaki fans in the house? Let me show you my bike. This is near and dear. I want to thank my dad for storing this machine outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in beautiful Plum Borough. This is my 1977 Kawasaki KZ 1000. I bought it in my senior year of high school back in the early days of eBay. The man said in the description, simply needs a good carb job. Well, long story short, when I showed up to Indiana in the 6-hour drive, there were flowers growing out from under it. The chrome was chipping away. It ended up being about a 10-year restoration, but we finally have it where we want it. The carbs are off right now for storage, but it's been a really fun bike, really enjoyable. Took it all the way down to the frame. I actually had it at the University of Florida. It was my transportation from 2004 to 2005, so it was pretty cool to park this big bad KZ next to all the scooters. And my dad gave me a great hand in fixing this one, didn't you, Dad?
Yeah, it cost me a Denko header, but at least the collector.
That's right. If you guys remember
Somewhere.
If you remember the Denko header, my dad was always a KZ guy, so he gave me some parts. The Denko header blew off somewhere down in Gainesville, Florida, when I was on a back road. Could not find it. We have upgraded to the Vance and Hines header. And I can't wait to get this bike back on the road. As for the motor, check this out. Ended up taking it to Larry Spider-Man McBride, cycle specialist. That's an 1197 that Larry and Steve helped me put together. It's got webcams, of course, APE, race parts, and I do believe we have Wiseco pistons inside of that beautiful Kawasaki KZ. I love it. It took me a long time to finish it, but I think it is finally there. And if you have any old cows, if you love old cows, please share a story with us. This bike's a lot of fun to ride on the street. It keeps you honest. You can't take the corners like you would on a modern sport bike, but they're a lot of fun to open up. And I'll tell you, on the straights, you drag racers know that these things can absolutely hang with the modern sport bikes. Now I want to show you my father's drag bike. This one is special to me because if we tell the full story, the genesis, the beginning, this motorcycle was bought, Dad, you have to correct me, but was it purchased brand new?
Brand new.
In 76?
It was laid away in 76. I picked it up in May of 1977.
1977, he picked this up. Now, the story goes, when I was born, you rode this thing to the hospital to come see me for the first time.
That's true.
So I was cursed with the cow disease even back then. Now, this bike has greatly evolved. I want to say it was around 97, 98. You decided to go from street bike to all-out drag bike, and that's the form that it sits in right now.
Yeah, we started with a 1015 motor, worked through the chassis, got it set up the way we liked it, and then went up to just added some power, went up to 1260, and now it's 1400.
And what you can see here about my father is he loves detail. He's a showman. We got all kind of cool accents. We got different colored velocity stacks. The plug wires match. Red and black guy. It's a cool motorcycle for sure. And as we said, what was it? 894 the best run?
Yeah, so far. 894.
And what was it like to go 894 on this machine that you built all by yourself? I mean, this is a legit basement-made, homemade drag bike. All the components, your friend helped you fit a wheel on it.
Oh yeah, back wheel and front wheel.
It's a thing of beauty.
Mole and same thing with the Sirianni front end. So
beautiful bike.
the body was down here, we could show you the paint by Mudge.
All right, now here is another motorcycle that is near and dear to my heart, because here's how this story goes. Came home from the U.S. Nationals, the U.S. Motorcycle Nationals at ADCO Dragway. I think it was 95, and I begged my dad endlessly, we got to get your Kawasaki S2 350 going again. So this is the motorcycle we started out on. As you can see, it's down to the frame right now. We hope to put it back together. All these super eliminator guys like Smokin' Joe and Bill Baxter got us all fired up. As we can see, the motor's ready to go back together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Here's the tank, the classic tank you guys will remember. 1973 Kawasaki S2 350. What was the best ET for this bike, Dad?
1290.
1290.
Shifted by foot.
It was a lot of fun, that's for sure. Should see it again soon. We got a Honda Trail 70 over here as well. Nice big collection of parts. Look, here's something special you got to see. Drag Slicks autographed by Steve Rice and Ricky Gadsden. That was a souvenir back in the late 90s, I do believe. But back to this two-stroke project. If anybody has any tips or advice for us, please leave them in the comments. We don't want to go too crazy. We don't need to go like Dave Schultz set records, right? We just want to get it back together. Back together, and we want to see it go down the track. We want to take it to Tyler Fisher's race in Martin, Michigan. Maybe a Super Eliminator Man Cup race. As you can see, it's about ready.
We have an orange street bike too.
There's an orange street bike as well that we're going to show you in a future video. Here's some work we're doing down here. Big thanks to, we got a local man, Eric Thomas, who helps us out a little bit. He's a big triple advocate. And finally, one more motorcycle in the basement. Remember, guys, this is just a brief taste of what we got. We're going to shine these things up. We're going to do an in-depth video here, maybe Christmas time or whatnot, but I want to give you a glimpse of this. Who knows what kind of body that is? If you said Tracy body, you are correct. Does anybody remember these? What do you know about these? Did you have one of these? Leave them in the comments. Dad, what is the story behind this motorcycle?
A guy I knew that worked at Haas Brothers put it together out of parts. He really liked the body, so he got a chassis and came up with a motor and stuff. Back in the day, he did a reconstructed title, so he pretty much built it.
What's this machine like to ride on the street?
Oh, it's fun. It's light. You know, you can definitely feel the difference in the weight. No fenders. You know, all that seat weight, all the body parts are all missing. You know, it's just a fun bike to push around, and definitely people scratch their heads. I left all the markings off, so they all ask you what kind of bike it is.
Yeah, it looks so unique. I love it. You got some Kawasaki buried treasure down here, guys. Gotta love the old school cows. We're hoping to get them all back out real soon. And the memorabilia on the walls is just as good. Take a look. Who remembers Dave Schultz's Pro Stock motorcycle that was this color? It's got the number 2 on it. That was rare for Dave. He was the perennial champion, but there was one man who occasionally would stop him, and that is this man right here. How about it? Autographed to me, John Myers. Met him many times. Super nice guy, as was Dave. I mean, I think I remember we met him in ADCO, and he couldn't have been nicer, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Really nice guy.
Great guy.
Here is the man we just talked to. We just did a Cycledrag video on George Bryce. You want to know how long George Bryce has been drag racing? There's George and Jackie. How about the great Angelle? Angelle's first season. She now rides for Vance and Hines Harley Davidson. That was back in the Star Racing days. I think 1996, I believe that was. We got the Spider-Man and Steve Rice. There's the legend once again, Dave Schultz, on a beautiful motorcycle he had. Here's one that will trip you guys out. Who's that? Without looking, who knows? That is the 70-year-old legend, Paul Fast by Gas, with a young Dave Schultz back in the triple days. How cool is that? We got Ricky Gadsden. That's a photo I actually took. ADCO 2008-ish AMA drag bike race. Kawasaki told me they needed a photo. I snapped that one with a little digital, and they ended up making a poster out of it. There we have Mr. Chip Ellis up on the wall. Where's my man Cannon? There's my man Cannon. Just got to see, I saw Cannon over in England this year. Also saw him at the Man Cup Finals. Great to see him. How about a very young Ryan Schnitz? Ricky Gadsden again. Here's something cool too. If you know Trimtex, this is the man behind Trimtex. 7.0 Joe Koenig. This was his world record pass, 7.029, May 2nd, 2002. How cool of a photo is that? Now, if that looked familiar to you as a drag racing fan, here was the inspiration. The great Terry Vance. I know many of you had this poster. It was so cool. If any of you know the story behind this too, let me know, because somebody was telling me at an NHRA race that's not really Terry on the bike. That was a stand-in, and then we were debating who it actually was. And then a young Andrew Hines as well. Some cool stuff. You got a museum down here, Dad.
Oh.
We'll show them more, but you're really good at saving this stuff, and that's pretty cool. I mean, we got a lot of memories over here, don't we?
Oh yeah. We got most of those autographs together at the track. So.
Yes, we did. A lot of NHRA races, a lot of Pro Star races. And we got to tag Steve Rice, because I was talking to Steve about this recently in Fontana. I said, Steve, you signed me a poster in 1991. He said, let's go racing. Look at this. Look at this handsome young man over here. Young Steve Rice. And that is the Kawasaki that Steve will have to correct me. I believe that's the one he won the Top Fuel Championship on. As you can see, he was the 90-91 Drag Bike USA Funny Bike Champion. And there's the motorcycle that Steve still campaigns. And to finish this thing, the legend, the one and only, Elmer Trett. 1996. This man went 6:06, 2:35. Was so far ahead of his time. That is the Pro Star report that was framed. Unfortunately, it would be just a month later that Elmer would lose his life at the NHRA US Nationals. Still missed to this day. Impact still felt. Truly the godfather of motorcycle drag racing. We miss Elmer. It was one of the early Pro Star schedules and posters that the great Scooter Kaiser put out. We got Elmer on it. We got Dave Schultz, autographed, by the way. I'm gonna have to get this one in an even better frame. Elmer Trett autograph, and who knows who that is? We'll see if anybody can guess in the comments, because that is somebody who I believe is still active today. Good stuff, guys. More coming. We're just scratching the surface. I promised Dad this wouldn't be too long of a video, but there you go, Dad. We're going to have future videos coming, right?
You got it.
Well, thank you for showing us.
Sure.
Let's give you one more look, guys. The cow pastor. If you got a cow pastor, tell us about it. Enjoy. We'll get more in depth on this later, but just a quick look at some of the amazing memorabilia and nostalgia that we have in this room. How about it? The diecast, the great John Myers. That's Tommy Smith on a Top Fuel bike. Tribute to Elmer and also Jim McClure and all the other heroes of Top Fuel. Ron Webb, Tommy Smith, Corey Hogan, Marion Owens. Big tribute to the one and only man, the Spider-Man, Larry McBride. Look at this, guys. There's a picture for you. A young Larry and Steve. Like I said, we're going to have more on this. More on this coming, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the motorcycle drag racing fanaticism. Yeah, and I got to say, my dad has done a great job preserving all these collectibles. It's neat. Like I said, in future videos, we're going to go more in depth. There's so many stories we could tell. Look at that. There is a classic photo of the one and only Terry Vance. Who had that one? Long live the old school cows.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to Cycledrag on YouTube, like cycledrag.com on Facebook, and we'll keep it coming. We are here to promote fast motorcycles all over the world. If you have any friends who you think may enjoy this, please refer them. They are always welcome. Thank you for the comments, the feedback. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you for subscribing to Cycledrag on YouTube.
And we're going to keep these old motorcycles and cows alive. If you like what you see and you want future updates, make sure you subscribe to this channel, Cycledrag on YouTube. Smash the bell for notifications. Like cycledrag.com on Facebook. We got much, much more coming. Leave us your tips, your advice, your stories, your feedback, and where you are watching from in the comments. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon.